Shalom, shalom. Peace, Israel. It's the brother Yaquab from the Camp Prophets in Babylon camp down here in Tampa, Florida. I'd like to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahawashi, Ba'ashim Rachaha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, who do indeed teach and well, and peace and salutations to the whole full that scattered abroad. In today's lesson, I want to touch up on, let us not be weary in well doing. For in due season we shall reap if we faint not. It says, but really consistency and staying focused in this truth, staying focused with the Lord. All right, but in Galatians chapter 6 and verse 9, it says, and let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. So let us not be weary in well doing. Weary goes into, tiring, wavering, man. For in due season we shall reap if we faint not. The other scripture also says, let me grab this to back it up. Gone. Okay, boom. With Matthew. Okay, so Galatians chapter 6 and verse 9 says, and let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. What are we going to reap if we faint not? And Matthew 24 and 13 says, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. If we endure all the way to the end, we're going to reap that salvation. All right. If you faint not, if you don't fall out and you stand firm in this truth, you stay consistent, you stay on top of what you have to do. All right. You're going to reap that salvation, man. Okay. And that's what brothers are trying to reap. We're trying to reap that salvation. For in due season, there's a season for salvation. The scripture says there's a season for everything under the sun. Let me grab that. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 3. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Right, and it goes on into it, but that's the point right there. To everything there's a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. There's going to be a time for salvation, a time for Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahawashi to really show his power. Okay, and to receive that power and receive that mercy, okay, of that salvation, you have to be steadfast, man. You have to be unmovable. You have to really be abounding and grounding yourself in this truth, man. It says in 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 58, therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast and unmovable. Okay, be focused and unmovable, not wavering, man. Always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. So always abounding in the work of the Lord, staying focused on top of your duties as a man for Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahawashi. All right, that's gonna push you to stay consistent, because every day, what I need to do for the Lord, I need to do something for the Lord today. I need to make sure I stay on top of my duties as a man for Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahawashi. All right. For as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. Nothing you brothers do for the Lord goes unnoticed, man. As I speak to you brothers, I speak to myself. Nothing you brothers sincerely do for Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahawashi goes unnoticed, and it's not going to go unnoticed, man, because the Lord, as long as you remain, the Lord is going to reward you for that, man. All right, for every little thing. It can be something so small. You can give a brother a cup of cold water when a brother really needed it, man. And look, now and out in the heavens, the Lord gave you a whole new planet just off of that cup. The Lord tremendously blessed you off of a sincere act you did to one of his prophets, and it's likened unto you doing it to the Lord, man. So the Lord is going to bless you for taking care of him. All right, you taking care of the Lord's men. It's likened unto you taking care of the Lord's it's like you taking care of the Lord's men. It's likened unto you taking care of the Lord. Okay, so the Lord is going to let you see that and say, well, you took care of me when I needed clothes. You took care of me when I was hungry. The Lord can bless you more than any other person or being in this whole universe, man. The Lord said, I go to prepare a place for you. Okay, the Lord is making a place for you, fashioned after your heart. The Lord created you, Akim. The Lord literally made you. He made you. He made these ligaments, man. Your chains of darkness. The Lord made these bodies, and he knows your spirit. All right, he knows your la'ab, your mind. Okay, it says, Colossians chapter 1 and verse 17, he is before all things, and by him all things can exist. As a matter of fact, let me grab that, because let's get the edification on that, man. Consist. Salakia. Copy it. add them online. So I'm trying to go Shalakia, bear with me. Paste. Okay, so let me bring this back. Colossians chapter 1 and verse 17. And he is before all things, and by him all things consist. Consist, it goes to be, exist in a permanent state as a body composed of parts. It goes into stand firm, take a standing position. And it also says to stand or make or be firm. So about all things, the Lord he makes it perfect, basically, man. The Lord cause all things to stand. Okay, and the point of me grabbing that was to say that your works that you're doing for the Lord, they're gonna stand. Okay, and by Yahweh Shemi Habashai, the will of Yahweh Shemi Habashai, the power of the Lord, all right, you're gonna receive that blessing that brothers are so dearly fighting for, man. Okay, let me grab this. And this is what we're ultimately hoping and facing for. All right, we want to be found blameless. We want to be found good in the sight, in the eyes of Yahweh Shemi Habashai, in the book of Titus chapter 2 and verse 7. In all things showing thyself a pattern of good works. So in all things, we're trying to show ourselves a pattern of having good works for Yahweh Shemi Habashai. All right, a good report, a good report for the heavens, man. You want the angels to be able to go back to the Lord and say, Lord, he's doing his thing. You know, he's serving you, Lord. He's fervently serving you. It says in doctrine, showing uncorruptness, gravity, sincerity. So in doctrine, showing uncorruptness, man, showing that we're not corrupted in our speech when dealing with Yahweh Shemi Habashai. This is why the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that do indeed teach him well, they have the full truth, man. They have the full everything. 144% truth, and the Lord has bestowed that upon them, man. All right, showing uncorruptness in their doctrine. It says sound speech that could not be condemned. All right, the scripture also said in that day, you know, the Lord will give you a mouth that the adversaries could not gainsay nor resist. In that time when Esau tried to scoop up the Lord's men, his prophets, and Jacob's trouble, man. All right, you see all the beautiful works that the Lord can do for you. All right, but this all comes with staying consistent, man, and staying firm. All right, how are you gonna show uncorruptness in your doctrine? By studying. All right, doing what you have to do for the Lord. It all ties in together with consistency. It says sound speech that cannot be condemned, that he that is of the contrary part may be ashamed, having no evil thing to say of you. And that's how Esau's gonna be in that day. Because when Esau scoops up the Lord's prophets and his men, they're not gonna be able to do nothing to them in that day, man. They're not gonna be able to say, oh, well, you did this, you did that, man. The Lord gonna speak through you, Akim. The Lord is gonna come through for you because you came through for him, and that's gonna be literal, man. The Lord is gonna literally put a spirit on you, and the Lord is gonna speak through you. All right. So these Edomites cannot gainsay nor resist or say, well, you did this, you did that, and cause you to have blame, man. Scripture say we want to be found blameless. All right. And how you're gonna be found blameless? Like we said, back to the point, consistency in Yahweh Shemi Habashai. If you're consistent, you're going to be studying, fasting, watching the videos, you know, you're not going to really be in the mix to have someone have room to say, well, you did this and you did that, man. All right. And that's what brothers are yearning for and seeking for. We're seeking that salvation through our faith and our dedication to Yahweh Shemi Habashai. All right. Brothers got to keep pushing. As I speak to you, brothers, I speak to myself. Hey, we almost out of here, brothers. We see what this devil is doing. All right. And we want to show ourselves, and all things showing thyself a pattern of good works. You want to show ourselves good works for Yahweh Shemi Habashai. Show ourselves that the Lord Baba Gashah, let us be worthy of that mercy, of that salvation. You know, so I wanted to make this lesson really quick. Yahweh, as I was edifying and straight into the point, I'd like to give our glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Shemi Habashai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who do indeed teach you well. And peace and salutations to the whole for that scattered abroad. Till next time I do say shalom and a Bible ball soon.